Hi, I'm Jared Hoyman with VisibleTour.com, and today I'm going to talk about my most favorite camera for real estate photography and the features, why it is my favorite, why it may be your favorite in the future, and also the alternatives that are a little bit cheaper. If you stick around to the end, I will go over those as well. In 1998, I worked on my first digital camera. I mean, you were getting like maybe 600K, whatever that is, for resolution. Less than a megapixel of resolution you were getting, and you can use Photoshop, and it took forever, and it was fun. And then you moved over and you moved up to about 3 megapixels, 5 megapixels. In the mid 2000 range, 2005, 2006, we were moving into the 8 and 12 megapixel range, which was amazing. Nobody thought, hey, you could do a billboard with this. And then we started doing the megapixel wars. And right after the megapixel wars, people were like 20 megapixels, 24, 32. Then Canon came out with a DSLR that did 50 megapixels, and we were like, what? That is insane. And then Sony hits in the 60 megapixels, and it's been crazy. Well, here's the downside when you're in real estate photography. You do not want big megapixels. Actually, 12 megapixels would be perfectly fine. So if you did the A7S, you would have everything you need for real estate photography. So then that comes down to a Canon guy like me, the Canon R6. I shoot this because it is 20 megapixels. It is manageable, it is easy. I can downsample it to 10 megapixels, send it out to my clients, and everything is super manageable. And that's one of the reasons why I use the R6. The other one is dual card slots. You get 2 SD card slots, UHS 2. They're fast, they're good, they're reliable. You always have a backup with that. That is the other thing you're gonna want when you do real estate photography. For me, I shoot about 5 houses a day on average. I use the number 1 card as the day card. So everything backs up to the number 2 card. I let that back up all the way for a week. By the end of the week, I look at it and then I make sure everything is good from my previous shoots, and then I format it. I format the number 1 card slot every night before I go to bed. It's very romantic, so I do that. So I always keep that one cleared out. I use that for each day for the shoot, but I back up to the number 2. You know what I mean, number 2. The other reason why I have chosen this over the Canon R5 is the R5, just like the EOS R, which I used to own, you had to go into a digital menu to change all the settings and everything. Here, if I wanted to go into the custom setting 1, 2, or 3, you just have to flip this around and it's quick. So custom setting 1 is all my real estate. Custom setting 2 is anything that's event. Custom setting 3 is kind of on the go. So I have them all kind of set, and then you can go right to video as well and have that programmed to what you want. I find this easier, and when you're doing 5 houses a day, it's all about quickness. How fast can you go? For real estate video walkthroughs with the IBIS, I have found this very good too, which comes down to my next one, which is IBIS. The IBIS on this is amazing. I don't know what the R5 is like, but the IBIS on this has blown me away, especially with the 15 to 35 lens, the 2.8 here. I've done it under f4, f2.8, 60 frames per second, slowing it down to 24 frames per second in post, and it looks smooth, it looks good, and I love it. Again, the price is the next one. I think you're spending about $3,800 on the body for the R5. For the R6, it is $2,500. There are sales coming on all the time. Also, you can purchase it on the link below. Shameless plug on my end, but you can purchase this right below too. And I get a little bit of credit if you use that link. It doesn't cost you any extra, but the body is cheaper. The lenses are still expensive when it comes to the RF mount, but you still have the EF mounts that you can put on here and do the 16 to 35, which you can get for about $800 now used. I use that for real estate photography for many, many years. Super sharp, I love it. I just wanted to go native mount and get a 2.8, so I ended up getting the 15 to 35. Again, I can justify that because I shoot about 1,000 homes a year and my work warrants it. The menu system with the Canon just works. I mean, it is awesome. I had the GH5, the Panasonic GH5 for many years. It is a great menu, but it isn't Canon. I had the G7 with Panasonic, great menu, not Canon. Played with the Sony, definitely not Canon. You get lost in that one, has a lot of options, but Canon just makes it easy for anybody to come into photography and start learning the menu system right away, start programming it. And again, you've got this quick, easy option in choosing your settings, going to the custom 1, 2, or 3, or going into manual mode like this. Instead of the R5 or the USR, you are clicking to go into those functions, and it is a digital screen right there. I like the physical, tangible buttons that you get when it comes to the Canon R6. Again, these are the selling points. Dual card slot, 20 megapixels. I always downsize to 10 megapixels. Smaller files in real estate photography is key because you're always moving files around. When it's online, you do not need a lot of megapixels. You need smaller, so this is good. It just works. I can't honestly tell anybody to spend the money on a Canon R5 or a Sony A7R 42 megapixels or the 60 megapixels because you're getting an overkill of a camera. You do not need that to get the quality images because now you're saving the money from the $2,500 body, put it into the lens, and now you've got an awesome combination, especially when it comes to video too with this. And to be honest with you, I started doing real estate photography on, get this, the Canon Rebel T2i. This came out in 2010. The T2i, 18 megapixels, not the sharpest, but you put an amazing lens like the 17, I think it was the 17 to 50 or 17 to 55. It was awesome. And then you get something like the 10 to 18 millimeter on there and you can pull it off. And I bet you that if I shot that camera right now, went to my clients and gave them the outcome, gave them the final image, all edited, Photoshopped the windows in, they won't even know a difference. You know the difference because at the end, the camera is the tool and the outcome is you. You are creating it, but you're using this tool. And the tool, if it makes it easier, your workflow goes quick, then it is worth every penny. If it doesn't make a difference and you're spending a lot of money, then you're overspending for your business. And you gotta stop doing that. So cameras I could recommend would be any DSLR right now. I mean, you can go all the way back to the Canon 6D if you wanna go full frame and just get the 16 to 35 millimeter, and that would save you a ton of money. If you wanted to do crop, you can do the 60D or the 70D. I would recommend the 70D to start with if that's something you're just getting into to do real estate photography, because then you have the flip out screen. And the flip out screen helps a lot with those angles. The other thing is, if you're gonna be transitioning into mirrorless, or that's where you wanna be, but you wanna save some money, the Canon R7, which is the camera filming me right now, the Canon R7 is a crop sensor. You can use an adapter and use the EFS lenses like the 10 to 18 millimeter. Tamron and Sigma make amazing lenses that adapt there that are ultra wide. And that goes to the last thing, whatever you get, if it's full frame, 15 to 35, 16 to 35, those are good focal lengths to go for. So the Canon R6 is the best camera I have used in my 26 years of photography. I started with the SLR, DSLR, and now the mirrorless. And I gotta tell you, this thing blows me away. The price is awesome, the quality is amazing, and you wouldn't be disappointed. You can use this for events, you can use it for real estate. It's a very versatile camera. And the lenses really are ultimately the best thing that are gonna last longer than the body anyways. So if it is something you're interested in, feel free to purchase it right below. If you have any questions, leave those comments below. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe and like this video. If you want more videos about real estate photography, it's my thing. I've been doing a lot of reviews lately, but I'm more than happy to teach you guys more about real estate photography, my techniques, my strategies, how to speak with clients, how to get clients, and ultimately how to keep busy, which I am, over 1,000 homes a year. So I need a break. Till next time, I'm Jared with visibletour.com. Check you out in the next video. By the way, this is a super patriotic camera, although it is made in Japan. So, but pretty patriotic for America for a Japanese build.